How's it going today, guys? You know, I thought the video series about the bucket positioning valve was done. It's the next day since I shot the video of me scooping the dirt in the pile and being all excited that everything's working well. And I started the machine to load my backhoe in the truck and load her on the trailer. And I got a dummy light in the cab, and I'll put a little clip here just showing you what that dummy light looks like. And it's like a gear-shaped thing, and there's a drop of oil in the middle. So I called the Bobcat dealer and asked them if they had any ideas, and they gave me some ideas of what to look for. And I opened the back, and as I was looking at the things they recommended I check, I noticed that there's a piece just to the right of the hydraulic filter that's just dribbling hydraulic fluid. So it's Friday afternoon, it's about 3:15. I really got to be quick with this video. The parts fella, who's very good at the Bobcat store, is not in the store today. So I'm sure they're already kind of overwhelmed. So what I want to do is get this piece out and then run down and see if they have the part I need. My concern is that by fixing the bucket positioning valve, the system has more pressure, and I've heard that sometimes when you fix one hydraulic leak, another one develops. And I'm hoping, again, this is a 19-year-old machine. I'm hoping that this piece just got old, and it's a sensor of some sort. So I'm hoping it just got old and it just needs to be replaced, and life will be good and wonderful. My fear is that there's something wrong with the way the bucket positioning valve was installed, and I don't really see how that's physically possible. And I'm getting an overpressure situation in my hydraulic system, and this blowout is kind of telling me something's wrong. So I'm going to go start the machine. I'm going to zoom in on something here for you, and I just want to show you guys what this looks like. So this piece right here is what I'm going to try to order. I'm not going to get this wired piece, but I think if I just take this out, but watch the back of this wired piece, you're just going to see hydraulic fluid dribble right out the back of that thing. I just got a call from the Bobcat dealer, and they're going to check and see if they have one in stock. I asked for their email, so I emailed a picture of what I need on the machine. So I'm just going to see if I can go ahead and real quickly pull this old one out. It looks like it's basically just loosening up one thing. And then we'll hopefully drive down and pick one up, and life will be good. It's amazing how just about everything is a ½ inch. Except for that one. Oops. There it is. So that's the piece we need. So I'm going to head down to the dealer. Actually, I'm going to wait and see if the dealer gives me a call and tells me if they have it or not. And then we can hopefully just go pick one up, screw it back in. You can see there's like a hole there. Looks like it's some kind of a pressure switch. And I just hope it's just a matter of, you know, this switch's time has come for whatever reason. Once I replace it, everything will be good to go. Oh, look at that, it's raining out. Wonderful. Well, folks, it's about 6 o'clock at night, and I'm happy to say that I got in my car, I drove down to the Bobcat store. I hit every red light on the way. My low diesel light came on my truck, so I had to stop and get diesel. There was one fender bender, and then I drove on I-95 through Bridgeport, Connecticut at rush hour, which luckily wasn't so bad, but it's really not a good time to be driving through I-95. So I got to the Bobcat store at about 10 to 5, and I'm happy to say that I did score the piece we need, and I just got one of them. So let's move the camera. We're going to pop this baby in and see if hopefully you know, my thought is, as I was driving down there, my thought was for 5 or 6 months, I noticed that drip. So because of the drip, there must have been less pressure in the hydraulics. And then for whatever reason, once I put the new valve in, that pressure was, you know, the pressure would have been greater. So maybe the old valve was getting near the end of its life anyways. I never remember replacing it. So maybe it was just time, and once we fixed the bucket positioning valve, the pressure blew this one out. That's my story, and hopefully it's going to work. Okay, let's give that a try. Well, folks, she's not leaking, so I think we're going to call it a day. I'll just keep an eye on it. I'll run it a few times and make sure it's not leaking. But I'm just going to hope that it was just, for whatever reason, it was time for that relief valve, whatever it is, to go. So hopefully we can start the job. I was looking to get the machine to the job today. Hopefully we can bring the machine Monday and get started. Although it's supposed to rain all night and Saturday, it's going to be pretty muddy on Monday. We'll see how things go. You know, and I just want to talk a little bit about my family, a little bit of an awkward time. But the other thing is, I was driving to the Bobcat dealer, was, you know, my family, my parents were the first generation to move out of New York City. So they moved, when my parents got married, they moved out of the city, and they moved to Connecticut. And my grandfather on my father's side actually worked for the New York City Parks Department. And think about that. In New York City, of all the jobs around, my grandfather chose to work for the Parks Department. And my grandfather on my mother's side worked for an Oldsmobile dealer back in the day. And you know, my father got a job working in sales. He was in an office all his life. Well, he wasn't in an office, he was in sales, so he was out seeing customers. But sometimes, you know, I wonder why you know, I'm wearing my Land Designs t-shirt or shirt, and I'm working on my Bobcat. And I almost wonder if it's genetic. I mean, all my life I've always enjoyed puttering with things. I've never done it quite as much as I'm starting to do now. Unfortunately, I lost both my grandfathers before I was like 8 years old, so I didn't really know them very well. I pretty much don't have any memories. But I just think it's pretty interesting how both of my grandfathers chose careers where they worked with their hands. And I don't know, I just wonder if it's almost genetic. I know I have a brother who enjoys fixing things as well. And I do have a sister too. You know, she's actually a college professor somewhere. But I just think it's kind of interesting how the acorn doesn't fall far from the tree. I guess that's what you would say. But you know, it just I try not to say too much about myself, you know, on these videos. But that's just something that you know, I'm over 40 years old now, and I start to think more. Maybe other people don't, but I'm just thinking a little bit more about it. I think it's very interesting. So, folks, hopefully we got this repair buttoned up, and hopefully maybe we'll shoot a video of some of the job I'm going to be on. I have to move a couple gold mop Chamaecyparis passifera folifera aurea. I got to move a couple of those. I've got a whole bunch of brush to rip out. I'm not sure, I didn't ask the people where I'm working if I can film at the house or not, but Thanks for sticking with me through the series again, and we'll see you soon. Have a great night.